What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
Powell going deep, and it's caught in the end zone for a touchdown by Xavier Diaz. A great throw, Diaz wide open.
.32-yarder here, well within his range.
Ball snap, spotted, kick is up, and it is down the middle.
Good by Plenty.
It looks like it's going to be short. Stretch that, baby. There we go. Give it a good pull. And Vineland's defense. Oh, no.
What? That was a little suspect there. And welcome back, everybody. It is Season 8 of Guzman's Gridiron, the official Vineland High School football coaches show, here presented by the Red and Gray Gridiron Group and Underground Sports Philadelphia. I'm your host, Kyle Bennett, and joining me each and every week, the namesake of this here show, head coach of Vineland High School football, Coach Jose Guzman. Coach, we're back.
We're back. We are back. It came quick, man.
It came quick. This summer flew by. And here we are, the Monday prior to week 0, as football season is somehow magically here. It's in the air. You guys kick off Thursday, August 28th against Delsea. We will be previewing that matchup because there's a lot of fun relationships, obviously, in that matchup. We'll catch up on everything that's been going on over the summer with you guys, talk a little off-season, talk a little alumni, as we had yet another Vineland High School football alumni head to the NFL this past spring, and who else? Whatever else comes up, we'll talk about it. So welcome back, everybody, and if you're new to the program, this is Guzman's Gridiron, the official Vineland High School football coaches show, where we sit down with Coach Guzman each and every week to prepare you for the week ahead for Vineland High School football. This is Season 8. Obviously, kick things off with Coach Russo, and Coach Guzman, when he assumed duties as head coach, willingly said, yeah, I'm going to get into the podcast game with you guys, and has been on board with us now for 3 seasons. Coach, it's good to be back.
Thank you for having me.
How was the off season? How was the time off? You know, it's been a while since we've sat down and chopped it up, but how was the off season? How was the spring, the summer, and how has the off season been for the boys in red and gray?
Well, I'll tell you this much: a lot of work. Our kids have been relentlessly pursuing, ultimately what they want to set out for as a goal, which is to get to the playoffs. These kids have been in that weight room religiously since December early, and they've been doing every little thing that they can to make themselves that much more better as a team, as a unit. So I'm very proud of where these kids are headed, and all I want is for their dreams to come true. So ultimately, we're gonna make that push when time comes.
No, obviously last season, a very veteran-laden defense for you guys, a lot of graduations this past year, and best of luck to all of last year's graduates and their future endeavors, obviously. But what is, the defense, I think, is the the question this year that a lot of people are wondering, with so many graduations and so many guys moving on to the next level, moving on to their collegiate careers, whether it be academically, athletically, or both. What's the makeup of this year's defense looking like with a lot of new faces, I presume, on that side of the ball?
I'll tell you this much. You're going to see new faces, but you're going to see that same gritty defensive work that Coach Smith and Coach Shelton do such a great job of getting our kids ready with their game planning and such. I'll tell you this as well. You're not going to see that crazy drop off that you normally see when a senior laden team leaves. These kids, like I said, they've been putting in that extra work. So it's a really good group that we got coming up.
Now, when you have a group that is ready to assume these new roles and everything, how much does last year's defense that was so senior laden, upperclassman laden, how much does that help going into this year with the new cast of characters that will be in your starting rotation defensively, in the the depth chart pieces and everything behind them? How much does that help that they were around those guys last year and they kind of saw the groundwork that they laid to be successful? Now it's their turn to step up. How much of that kind of being able to sit back and watch how they moved, how they went about their week to week actions and everything, how much does that help this year's group?
Immensely. We again, our seniors from last year, God bless them. They were really a good group by way of showing the younger guys what to do, on and off the field. Just class acts. So they really laid that good foundation for our younger guys to go ahead and basically, mimic, if you will, behavior, attitude, the whole nine. Ultimately, I always tell my kids, if you want to get to that next level and play at the collegiate level, whether it be Division 3, 2, or 1, grades are first, and then that attitude and that work ethic have to be just right for you to go ahead and achieve them goals that you have laid before yourself. So ultimately, this senior group did a great job in preparing the younger guys to assume their position.
And how much of that do you think, because last year's senior group was that first crop of Coach Russo calling up freshmen to the varsity squad and them getting their feet wet as freshmen and having 4 years of varsity experience, how much do you think that foundation has helped this younger group kind of get ready for what varsity football, can breed and what it's like on game day and kind of the preparation that goes into it and getting their feet wet at a younger age and learning from those before them that did the same thing?
Again, Coach Russo, when he was here as the head coach, he did an excellent job building the culture again and really allowing for the kids to, just play. Let your play do the talking. And us as coaches will do our due diligence to see who's going to ultimately start. And he gave those freshmen and younger guys a chance to achieve a starting role on the team. And I likewise in his thinking, because me and him, when we were younger, we started as freshmen. We already had that matriculated into our skin, if you will, being able to give these younger guys a chance to go ahead and assume a role as a starter. So because of that, because of that like-mindedness, me and Coach Russo, I just want the best to play. Don't care if you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. If you can assume that role as a starter, you got it. There's no politics here. You earned it, it's yours. And they know how I work.
And, with kind of a newer group, who's somebody or multiple guys this offseason and in offseason training that have really stood out to you that you think are really going to pop off the page this year and really showcase their skill sets of the work they put in the weight room during, the summer months and the grind that can be, obviously, of each and every day waking up, summer heat, and getting ready to go for a fall season? Who are some guys that have really popped off the page defensively that Coach Smith and Coach Shelton have been very excited about?
I'll tell you right now, a guy who really pops out at me, younger guy, is Barias Hill. Right now, Barias is playing really good football. That young man is going to be a hell of a player. All he has to do is, as I tell him all the time, make sure that his attitude, his demeanor, and his ability to be a leader are on showcase. Not all the other stuff. let that go by the wayside and be a leader. And that's what I try to, instill in all my players. But right now, him as a defensive player, he's the one that's popping out. Another guy who's a young guy, who's a sophomore this year as well, popping out a little bit and showing his skill set is Quay. Quayshawn, the corner of ours, is really coming into his own. He's starting to feel out that position a lot better than per se when he was a freshman, last year. So you're going to see, again, the likes of Elijah Calderon, now a sophomore, already went through his true freshman year. He's lighting it up in this offseason by way of 7-on-7s, throwing unbelievable passes, I'm seeing things that are just, sometimes you have to just question, like, how did he get the ball over there? He got that ball in a tight spot. So we have some guys, man, that assumed roles last year as true freshmen that are really starting to get it now. And again, somebody else defensively, Aiden Zincraft. You saw him last year. He pops off the page. This kid is just, he's an animal on that line. He's going to be a sure bet for some, possibly even some all-star votes. He's playing that position very well. So we're hoping he takes it and runs with it. But again, man, it's going to be a lot of sophomores out there because there was a lot of freshmen last year. So you're going to see a lot of young guys, but on both sides of the ball. But we're happy with what we have, Kyle. We're rolling. We're rolling, man.
And for you guys as a staff, too, when you have such new personnel to kind of mess around with and play with and put into new positions, how much of it is sticking to your system, sticking to your coaching style as a staff, but also kind of understanding, like, these guys are in this for the first time, let's mold them and not overwhelm them so that when the lights come on, they don't kind of, crash out and burn when game time is ready to go, and you kind of have that happy medium.
I'll tell you what, again, my coaching staff, I love these guys. We have a great chemistry as far as coaching is concerned. They know exactly what I expect of them. I'm not if they were all here, they'll tell you, I made you my OC or co-OCs for a reason. I made you my DC for a reason. Reason being, you're a grown man that understands what it takes to win, A, and to do it the right way, B. You understand how to run the offense, obviously, because I went ahead and not only did I go ahead and do my due diligence on you, but I know that I've seen your work, your body of work. I've seen it. I know what you can handle. So I'm not a guy who's going to be on you. I got you in them positions for a reason because I know you can handle it. And I know that they can present the material in a way that the kids can absorb it. You see, we're not overwhelming the kids, but also we're not, trying to just keep it blah and plain. We got a lot of things going on. And Coach Smith, defensively, you're going to get invert coverage. You're going to get quarters underneath. You're going to get looks from the NFL at the high school.
Experience.
Yeah, again, at the high school level, Kyle, which is that's a lot to say for young kids at the high school level to be able to run all these crazy schemes defensively. But he makes it and he words it in such a way that the kids get it. And it's nice to know that because when I sit in this office with college scouts that come and get our guys, I tell them what we run, and they're like, what? So you're running invert cover? Most of the time, all we see is high schools running either cover 2, cover 3, or man. That's it. That's what you see in high school. 3 coverages for the most part. And with us, there's a lot of different schemes going on. You might think it's cover 4, but it's not. You might think it's cover 3. It's not. It'll give you that shell. Coach Smith, he's quick at giving you the shell, but all of a sudden, who knows? He might have a defensive end drop off in coverage. Somebody goes and blitz off the edge for that. He has a lot of cool little tricks and such up his sleeve. Again, by way of the offense, you have Coach Fitton and Coach Shelton that are running as OCs, and this year for me. And again, kudos to Coach Hendricks did again an excellent job for us here, but he went on to pursue track and field, which I'm very happy for him about that situation with him. Again, he'll always be family here at Vineland. But again, you have Coach Shelton and Coach Ray Fitton, who have taken on the responsibility as co-OCs, and again are breaking down the information for the kids to absorb. They're not giving them too much, but they're not giving them too little. It's that happy medium we talked about is what we're reaching on both sides of the ball.
And when you talk about Coach Smith having all those intricacies, that's just Batman being in the back.
Yeah. They're back, man. They're back. Batman and Robin are definitely back, and hopefully be on the show soon.
Absolutely. So. And speaking of Robin, with Ryan Shelton,
yes.
You know, how impressive is it to see somebody of his caliber, like you mentioned, be able to be on the defensive side, but also know the offensive side of the ball? He obviously played a ton on both sides of the ball when he was a player here, but to see him assume the coaching duties, it's a different beast than being a player. It's a lot of, you know, teaching and a lot of being able to make sure that your players are understanding and communicating with you. How impressive has it been to see him assume both of those roles going into this season?
Actually, Kyle, I'm going to tell you 3 roles because he's also a special teams coordinator for me too. Listen, I love the kid. He knows it. I know it. I mean, he's not even a kid. He's a young man now, you know. But I mean, to me, he'll always be one of my kids, you know. I love him. He's an absolute gem to have on the staff. This is a kid that he bleeds red and gray. He breathes red and gray. This is his baby, man. And I've known that since he was young. Just a student of the game. And now he's on the other side where he's actually coaching. But he takes that same methodology to approach the coaching realm, where he's always in film. He's always calling up Coach Smith. He's always calling up Coach Fitton. They're always, you know, our line coach, Coach G. The man is everywhere. You know, Coach Garton, he's picking his ear. Well, what do you want to do? You know, we want to set up an onside. The guy's everywhere, but he's a football guy. Real football guy that loves it, breathes it, eats it every day, and we're very, very happy to have him on staff.
And you want to talk about versatility? Ryan Shelton's got versatility, but so do our returning partners at Allen Associates. Back on board for a 3rd straight season. We thank them for supporting Guzman's Gridiron. They're heading into their 65th year of business, and if you're looking for a reliable and experienced insurance agency that caters to all your needs, look no further than Allen Associates Insurance Services. With over 6 decades of experience under their belt, they specialize in health insurance, financial services, and accounting. And whether you're a part of the public or private sector, they've got you covered. Their family-owned business currently helps upwards of 300 groups throughout New Jersey, providing them with the best insurance options available. You can easily learn more and access their services by visiting their newly renovated website, which is linked in the description of both audio and video versions of this podcast. So join the family and let them help you secure your future. Contact them today online or by calling 856-692-2250. That's 856-692-2250. Big thank you to Allen Associates and congratulations on 65 years of business helping the people of New Jersey. You mentioned Elijah Calderon, who I think last year, there's a difference from watching the games, which we appreciate the people watching the games at home on the Vineland Public Schools YouTube channel and tuning in to my lovely voice each and every week. But if you went to a game last year, I think you noticed a big difference at the quarterback position, that it's been a while since we've had somebody with the arm talent that Elijah Calderon has.
Right.
Watching his growth game over game last year as a true freshman, like you mentioned, how impressive has he been going into his sophomore season? Now Coach Fitton, who is his quarterback coach, assuming that OC role.
Yes.
What is that dynamic like to continue his progression? And how do you guys try to help him move forward, obviously, because the age-old term sophomore slump, you want to see him continue to progress and not kind of take a step backwards?
One of the big things that you notice in Elijah this year as opposed to last year is he's definitely identified areas that he needed to work on in the offseason, and he has. I mean, this kid, again, I'm getting, the coaches from opposing teams telling me, this kid's the real deal. I mean, I don't know how many times at 7-on-7, the coaches would come up to me, hey, Coach, that's your guy? Yeah, that's him. You got a good quarterback on your hands. I was like, yeah, he's going to be something special. So we haven't seen the likes of Elijah's, full repertoire yet.
And mind you, he was 14 when the season started last year.
Just turned 14 too. So
it was insane to watch in person. Yeah. Like the first scrimmage that we were at up in the booth and testing the new broadcast equipment, my jaw was on the ground. I was like, he's 14, and he's taller than me, and he's launching the ball down the field like he's Matthew Stafford.
One of the things that I love about Elijah is his temperament. He doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. He stays right in that pocket, that sweet spot, and he delivers the football, man. And when he needs to use his legs, he gets out the pocket too. So again, it's a beautiful thing to see that he's really gaining knowledge about his position on a daily with Coach Fitton, with Coach Shelton, on his own, doing extra work. The kid's just a true leader in every sense of the word. So we're very, very lucky to have him here at Vineland, man.
And how valuable is it to have him learning from Ryan Shelton, who played the position here, knows what it takes to win here, and knows the ever-changing balance of what it's like being a quarterback for Vineland High School football?
Again, it's invaluable to have, Coach Shelton here, being so that he was one of our former players, being so that he was a former quarterback, former, linebacker / tight end. I mean, this kid was utility all day, but just a football player. So to have someone with that type of mind and mindset around our kids is invaluable, and him having the previous relationship with Elijah, along with Coach Fitton, who had a previous relationship with Elijah, it just makes it a lot more homier. You understand? So now Elijah feels very, very comfortable. He has his two coaches, when he was a former young buck, just guiding him, still guiding him along this nice road that he's taking right now, being so that he'll be, facing his sophomore year. So let's knock on wood and say no sophomore slump for Elijah Calderon. I think he's going to have a breakout year this season, and people are really going to be having them on their radar for that all-star vote, hopefully come the end of the season.
When it comes to his progression too, a lot of that senior laden, upperclassman laden defense, a lot of those guys were also his wide receivers last year.
Sure.
What does that wide receiver room look like this year, and what excites you about a new cast of characters there to help Elijah's growth and development? And how much do you think Elijah, having already played at the varsity level for an entire season, is going to help this new group of wide receivers coming in really develop and those guys be on the same page as Elijah throughout the season?
One of the things that I could say is the difference between last year's receivers and this year's, I would say it's overall size. You had Mark Mutcherson, he's 6'2", 6'3", taller receiver. You had, Mason, another 6'1" receiver. Xavion, 6 foot. So you had these 6-footers, whereas this year you have 5'11", 5'10" guys. We have a 6-footer, but beyond that, no. So the height that he did have the luxury to have last year is not there. But this group is different, right? Every group is different. Every group has their own little niche. Whereas those guys were taller and maybe can go get the ball at a high point at a different level than maybe these guys from this year. These guys have skill sets that they were kind of lacking, right? So it's a good thing. It's just different where Elijah has to now, instead of just throwing it up to a Mark Mutcherson, right, and letting him go ahead and high point it, he's going to have to pick his spot, and his spot has to be true, but he knows he has athletic receivers that'll go get the ball. So it's just it's a little different dynamic, but they've been connecting, man. They've been connecting. Elijah's been connecting with his guys. Alvarado, he's been connecting with. He's been connecting with Zalik, Travis. He's going to be phenomenal this year. It was just, it was tough last year not to have him on that field because of things that had happened previous, but the past this year, he's going to have a breakout year and such. So we're very proud to say that about Zalik Travis. But again, the skill sets are a little different, but, Elijah's throwing those money balls and those kids are catching them.
How valuable was it, too, that, Elijah comes in as a true freshman, brand new offensive line last year. A lot of them graduated 2 years ago now, which is also crazy to think about.
It's wild time.
But now that they kind of had the opportunity to now grow together, what have you seen development-wise of the offensive line in conjunction with Elijah and just the O-line continuing to progress in year 2 of them being a full-blown unit together?
I believe in my heart that Elijah really trusts his guys and what they're doing. I believe as a whole, the team trusts each other a lot more than last year, where they're a lot more sure of what they're facing this year versus last year, being so that they were a lot of them were true freshmen. But again, it's just a case where this O-line has really gained all that invaluable experience from last year and has put it together in a nice way this year, where we've been matriculating the football down the field versus whoever we're going up against. So let's just hope and pray that they keep that mindset, they keep that focus, they keep on their 3 A's, alignment, assignment, adjustment, and we'll just keep on doing our due diligence as coaches and keep coaching them up the right way.
And, being able to just see development, I think, is one of the best parts about being a coach. And, seeing the guys that were here last year take another step forward this offseason, what's that been like for you? And just watching guys that have that talent inside them and it kind of get unlocked to a new level. What's that been like this offseason for you?
I love it. You have guys like Brian McCarter, this kid, one of our offensive linemen, freshman last year, sophomore this year, leaps and bounds where he was last year. Very proud of that kid. Again, Zincraft. Both sides of the ball you're going to see him on as a tight end and a D end. Again, devoted all this offseason work to his talents. He's at another level this year. So again, you're going to have guys up front, the Zach Zavis of the world, they're ready, man. They have meshed in such a good way, Jaffet, DeVal, like all these guys have meshed in such a good way that, it's going to be a good outcome for us. Robbie Bono, he's earned a position on that front line as well. So again, it's just nice to see that these young guys are now picking things up, and not only picking them up, but acting as a unit with each other. It's pretty cool to see their development. Pretty cool.
And, going into a new season, obviously, and we'll get into this more after the break as well, but a lot of home games this year, which I think is
– we're not road warriors again.
Yes, which is so nice.
So used to being on the road.
Not only for you guys, but also for me, not having to just navigate where am I broadcasting from this week.
Is it this little hole in the ball?
Is it a
Do I have to look
pit?
for something?
Do I have to be over the fence like the home improvement neighbor? Where am I broadcasting from? But a lot of home games.
Yes.
How much of that as a coaching staff, is it kind of a sigh of relief, for lack of a better term, to be like, hey, we know exactly where we're playing this week. We know we have that home field advantage. We get to play in front of our home fans for a majority of the year. How calming is that for you guys as a staff, knowing there's not, odds and ends of getting guys on buses and going, on hour-long trips to different schools and everything, which kudos to those schools for having us, but it is nice to be able to play in your backyard a whole lot more than it is to go on the road.
Absolutely.
How calming is that for you guys as a staff to know that most of this year you're going to be playing at Gittone Stadium?
It's just a nice feel. Again, we're so used to being, road warriors that it's like, okay, we're on the road again for the first 4. All right. And then one home game, and then we're on the road again for the next 3. Like, it's, it's just nice to know that we'll be able to, slowly move into the game, get our kids over, go about our business nice and calmly, instead of feeling, even though we always get to where we're going 2 hours early, it just feels different, man. It feels like, like a breath. Like we can relax. The kids feel that as well. And on top of it, what better than to be at Gittone, home stadium. You got your home crowd. You got your folks here. It's a win for everybody.
One of the coolest stadiums in all of New Jersey, honestly.
It is a cool stadium, man. I love it. Even when it was a grass field, it was beautiful. Again, now we got the turf. It's great. I think the facilities are wonderful. I think what Vineland offers as Gittone Stadium is just a beautiful stadium to be at.
And it reminds me, you're a soccer fan. It reminds me a lot of just like the European soccer teams, like the stadium's boom right in the middle of the neighborhood, and it's like this is what football's all about.
100%.
Like it gives that football like grit feel.
Yes.
And it's a stadium, and it's an establishment that is part of the neighborhood. It's part of the ecosystem.
Absolutely. I mean, and it's nice, you're out there sometimes and you get a whiff of someone barbecuing. You're like, wait a minute. Damn it. We still got 2 hours left in this game. Calm down.
Keep that booth door open a little bit, too.
But, yeah, it's just funny because sometimes I'll see the kids and be like, I know, I smell the burgers, too. Let's calm down. Let's relax. Let's rewind this whole situation. And let's get back to our work. And then afterwards, maybe they'll throw us something over the fence. I don't know.
Let that fuel the tank there.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break to have a word from our sponsors, but don't go anywhere. You are watching Guzman's Gridiron right here on Underground Sports Philadelphia.
Hey, everybody, quick ad break, and I want to talk to you about our amazing sponsor, Allen Associates. And if you are looking for a reliable and experienced insurance agency that caters to all your needs, look no further than Allen Associates Insurance Services. With over 6 decades of experience under their belt, they specialize in health insurance, financial services, and accounting. Whether you're a part of the public or private sector, they've got you covered. Their family-owned business currently helps upwards of 300 groups throughout New Jersey, providing them with the best insurance options available. You can easily learn more and access their services by visiting their newly renovated website, Allen Assoc, that's ALLENASSOC.com. So join the family and let them help you secure your future. Contact them today online or by calling 856-692-2250. That's 856-692-2250. Big thank you to Allen Associates for being a proud partner of Guzman's Gridiron.
Out here, strength isn't a choice. It's a way of life. And when your back carries the weight of generations, you need support that never gives out. In the city, the load's different, but the drive is the same. When every step matters, your knees shouldn't slow you down. And when the work is done, healing isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. At Family Medical Equipment, we build relief into every stitch, strap, and product. From the fields to the office to your journey back to full strength. Family Medical Equipment. Built to support. Made to last.
Hello, I'm Mayor Anthony Fanucci. Vineland, New Jersey offers both a great business location and an outstanding quality of life. But don't just take my word for it, the experts agree. We're proud to be recognized as a premier food processing and logistics hub, one of New Jersey's most affordable and desirable cities, and one of the best places to retire in the country. Visit vinelandcity.org and see how our resources can work for you. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
And welcome back, everybody. Thank you to our sponsors. And speaking of sponsors, Coach, the City of Vineland is back on board with us again for a second straight year. And I don't know if you know this, but the City of Vineland is getting a convention center down on Landis Avenue. The old Amish market is being turned into the Vineland Convention Center.
Did not know.
And the inaugural event is happening on November 15th and 16th as the Garden State Comic Fest is coming to the new Vineland Convention Center Saturday, November 15th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday, November 16th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you're going to be able to meet the likes of the following people. Melissa Joan Hart, Sabrina the Teenage Witch is coming to Vineland, New Jersey, as well as your favorite stars like Dan Parent, the legendary Archie's comic artist and writer. Kevin Clash, the voice of Elmo, will be in Vineland. Splinter and Baby Sinclair, and Keith Williams, the iconic comic book inker from Marvel and more. Comics, cosplay, collectibles, and over 6,000 fans. Visit gscfvineland.com for all the details. Again, that's gscfvineland.com for all the details. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. I love to see that. We were talking about that last year when the City of Vineland got on board and just like the new renovation of things, Trout's Golf Course, all these new places. the fact that we're getting something right there on the avenue for people to go to and enjoy is going to be so much fun.
Absolutely. And you know what? The community of Vineland deserves stuff like that, positive things. The city really needs that positivity to enter. So, good luck. That's going to be great for the city of Vineland.
Going to be a lot of fun. And what else is going to be a lot of fun is Thursday night. Thursday night football, Coach.
Let them fly, man. Let them fly.
An old friend comes to town. Coach Volpe.
La Fox. Yes, I did it to you, Volpe. I did. I love you, bro, but you know you're Vineland through and through, so yes, La Fox. You know what that means. He knows.
What has the dynamic been this offseason, knowing that Coach Volpe and Delsea are the Week 0 matchup, your guys' relationship, and just kind of the offseason fun banter between coaches, but also knowing Delsea, prominent program, 2 years removed from a state title,
right?
And what Coach Volpe is building over there, and knowing the type of coach he is, what's the expectation for them coming to town?
I already know. I mean, Coach Volpe, love him to death. That's Vineland guy. Assumed his role as the head coach over there at Delsea, and I wish him nothing but the best, as I've told him in his face. So, I know he did a great job with them kids. I know he's doing a great job with them kids, and he's going to continue to do a great job with them kids. We're going to expect, a Volpe-led team, which is very disciplined. He's going to give us different looks, offensively, defensively. So we just got to be ready and steady, ready to play and steadfast at our approach, and which we will be. But again, Delsea has themselves a hell of a coach over there, somebody that's going to go ahead and really provide everything that the kids need, to achieve greatness. So, but you're coming back to Vineland, Volpe. It's going to be me and you, brother. Me and you. Mano a mano. Nah. Like I said, it's all fun. I got one for you. So, he thought he was hiding up there in the press box over in Monday scrimmage with St. Joe and Pleasantville, the Tri. And, because it was raining and stuff. So, man, I always got my eyes on a swivel, dude. I look up, I see in the middle of the press box, good old Volpe, man. So I walk to the center of the field. I'm like, hello, Volpe. He acts like he don't see nothing. Hi, Volpe. And he waves over real nice and easy. Gives me a little pageant wave. Same thing, Williamstown. He tried to be all non-discreet, go out, sit somewhere in the very back. I see him right away. I'm like, hi, Volpe. Nah, but it's all good and fun, man. That guy knows that there's nothing but love between us, man. But you can expect two teams that are going to be led by guys that, again, want only the best for their kids. And, again, kudos to who comes out on top. All I can say is that we're going to be prepared. I know he's going to be prepared, so we're going to have a good matchup come Week 0 on the 28th at Gittone Stadium.
He's probably like Dwayne Wade in that Gatorade commercial where he's sleeping and he just sees you waving, and that's what knocks him out of his sleep, and he wakes up sweating Gatorade.
It's we have a heck of a relationship, man. I'm gonna tell you another thing, and maybe you don't know this, but I walked into my office this morning, and one of my guys, I don't know who, Coach Volpe knows this. We used to play around with these little table tennis balls and put different faces on them. So I walk into my room, and what's sitting front and center next to the Bobby Ross? I have this little Bobby Ross bobblehead that Volpe gave me. Volpe, you gave me the bobblehead. Next to the bobblehead was a table tennis ball with your face on it. Yes, with your face on it, my brother. So, I had you in the office a little while.
We've got an informant on the inside.
He's just watching everything. So I left him right on my desk next to Bobby Ross.
And you know what he did, Volpe? He said, hi, Volpe.
Hi, Volpe. Oh, man, when he sees this, he's going to lose it.
Oh, that's
but I'm telling you the truth. So he's sitting on the desk. His head is right there. He's watching every move, man.
That's amazing.
Every move.
And when you have a relationship with another team's head coach like you do with Volpe, who
right.
Obviously you guys coach together here. He's
Absolutely.
Vineland through and through.
100%.
What is that coaching chess match like for you and just preparation, knowing what he brings to the table, him knowing what you bring to the table, and kind of just moving the pieces around the board and trying to get that one slight edge on one another, and kind of just the coaching game within the game for you guys because you know each other so well?
It's tough, man, because we play a lot of dummy hands. I know his little games. He knows my little games. So it's kind of tough in that regard. So I think at the end of the day, it's a stalemate. But it's still fun. It's fun as hell, especially going against somebody like that where the love is in the room. But once we get to that game, it's gonna be he's bringing his team to the table. I'm bringing my team to the table, and may the best team that night win. And he knows that.
And how exciting is it for you guys as a staff, for the guys on the team, knowing that you get to kick off the season against a program that has the pedigree like Delsea has? Right. It's not often that Vineland and Delsea get together, which is also strange because we are so close in distance.
Right.
You would think that would be a matchup that happens more often than not, but
right.
New Jersey's a big place.
Right.
But, to kind of have that fuel there of knowing, hey, Delsea, they have the pedigree of being this prestigious South Jersey program.
Mm-hmm.
We talk all the time about how, North Jersey, rightfully so, gets a lot of love, but there's a lot of great programs down here in South Jersey as well, and Delsea being one of them. How juiced up does that get you guys, knowing you get to go toe-to-toe with a program that has a lot of history, a lot of winning success, and kind of, test your skills right off the rip?
Again, our kids understand what's at stake here. And the big thing that's at stake is, Vineland football as a whole. You know what I mean? Where's your heart at? Where's your medal? If we're talking, that this team is this perennial team that's been in the states, and they've won their fair share of state titles. It's time to take, the role of upsetter. All right, we're going to do our due diligence to go ahead and make a stand on our home field, be it whoever comes to our home field. So, again, it's an excellent opportunity for the kids to really showcase their talents and to protect this house, man. Got to protect this house at all costs. It don't matter who it is that we're going against. So, again, you're gonna see and expect a team that's going to be ready, that's going to be willing, and that's going to be able to fight all four quarters and beyond if we need to.
We talked about it last year when building up to that first home game, there were 4 road games, and kind of building that trust and that currency with the home fans and being like, hey, when we come back home, there's going to be a product for you here to watch, be excited about. And that there was, the home turnout for that first game was incredible. To know that you're starting off at home, you want to set that tone at home. Mm-hmm. How much of that goes into, hey, this is the one and only game we have before school starts. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit different, home crowd potentially versus when school's in full swing. You have the full student body there, but you want to set that tone at home and let everyone know, hey, we're not here to mess around. Mm-mm. We're here to provide, the community with somebody to, something to get behind, mm-hmm. and we want to be that.
Again, it's the demeanor that our kids have taken on this year is that they want to go ahead and be great at everything they do. So, again, they put in the measures before the season even started in that weight room. And once they set that as a bar, conditioning was next. And then ultimately full padded up, geared up, and going ahead and practicing at our best to be great. I'm just really, really impressed with this group of kids. Being so that, again, they weren't satisfied with last year at all. So they've done their due diligence, man, and we'll see. We'll see come the 28th what ultimately happens and transpires.
And I think more so in football than a lot of other sports just because of the physical nature of it, the day-to-day of it. Not only does what you do on the field matter, but also the chemistry and the bond that you have with each other in that locker room off the field matters. Mm-hmm. What have you seen kind of culminate as the offseason and summer practices have gone with just the trust, the team chemistry, and the lack of a better term, but it is, the friendship in that locker room amongst this roster and these guys being as close-knit of a unit as possible?
You could just tell that these kids are constantly, in each other's ear. and or they're going out together, Buffalo Wild Wings. I mean, I've already heard a bunch of stuff, Applebee's, they're always together. So I think that in that regard, you're going to see a closer knit group of kids, and then being so that the majority of our class, our roster, there's about 40, if you don't know this, you know it now, there's about 44 freshmen that I have out of a 72-man roster. It's a lot of freshmen, So the good news is we're young. The even better news is that these young guys, the sophomores, juniors, are setting the tone for these young freshmen that just came in and setting a hell of a tone, setting a hell of a example for them to follow. So that family atmosphere, these young guys came right into it and saw it firsthand in that weight room, how close-knit that these guys were. I made it a point to, when I'd meet a new freshman, go introduce them to the upperclassmen, and the upperclassmen know they got to go ahead and introduce them one at a time to all the rest of the guys on the team, so they feel like they're part of this family, and I love that. I love that our kids are very welcoming to other kids. There is no, separation. You don't see little niches around the weight room or in practice. It's just together. They're all together. They're all motivating each other. It's just real good stuff that I see on a day-to-day with my kids, so I'm very proud of them.
And I think in a season like it's laid out this year, where there is so many home games for you guys, that matters even more than it would, because you don't have that quote-unquote bonding time on the bus rides. You don't have all that together time there. No. It's all going to be in your locker room. It's all going to be at practice. It's all going to be what you do outside of practice, and building those relationships and making sure that they, culminate together year over year, especially with such a young roster.
Absolutely. You have the likes of the upperclassmen, driving some of the younger guys into practice. It's just not, it's really nice to see that, because that means that they're going beyond the normal, okay, hey, what's up, teammate, and then going about their business. No, come with me. I got you. You need me to pick you up? No problem. I'll be at your house at such and such time. And they're doing it on their own. They're not waiting for me or some other coach to, hey, can you please go pick up such a... They take care of that in-house on their own. So that right there tells me a lot, that these kids are just going beyond the normal duties of, well, I just got to get to practice, so I'm going to worry about myself. They're not selfish kids, man. They're unselfish kids. The unselfishness that they're showing in that regard is showing on the field as well with their unselfish play. All they're doing is their job. This guy's doing his job. This guy's doing his. Ultimately, everyone does their job. We're sitting pretty. It's not like this guy has an ego. I wanted to make that play. No. I'm going to do my job, and I'm going to force the ball where it needs to go. Or I'm going to do my job, and I'm going to get the ball to where it needs to go on offense. So it's just nice to see that, Kyle.
Going into this matchup against Delsea, what's kind of the expectation week 0? It's a brand new season, first game of the season. You don't want to set things too high, but you also don't want to have them so far low to the ground that there's nothing to build upon. What's kind of the expectation, offense, defense, special teams, that you as coaches want to see? And what are some things that you think each unit is capable of, that if you see it, in the game, you're going to be like, damn, we knew that was possible?
One of the main thoughts about that get expressed every day in practice, weight room, film, whatever, we have to be that type of team that competes every single down for 4 quarters. We got to compete. Another thing that gets, nailed into their heads is execution. Execute offensively, defensively, special teams. Execute all phases of the game puts us in a better position throughout the game. Another thing, intensity, right? That word gets mentioned a lot. Intensity. You've got to have intensity out in that football field. That's something that you just can't turn on. You got to be able to go ahead and have a high intensity practice, so that the practice, we always tell our kids, you should leave with nothing left in the tank, so that come game time, it's easy. Wait a minute, we do way more in practice. So again, this year, a little different approach by way of even our staff is going about handling things with the kids. There's a lot more of a cardio aspect put into our practices, where there is really no downtime other than when they're going to get their water. Everything else is, we got to get there. Let's go. Let's get, everything is on time and got to get managed that way, so that ultimately it just builds accountability also for our kids. That's another word that the kids hear on a daily: accountability. Hold yourself accountable. Just as if us, the coaching staff itself, holds themselves accountable for things that maybe we didn't do at our best, you got to hold yourself accountable, what you're not doing or what you're not providing. Maybe you're not watching film on your own. Maybe you're not doing the little X's and O's that you need to on your own. Well, hold yourself accountable. Hold your teammates accountable, right? In a positive way, of course. We always tell them that, to make sure that if you are holding your teammate accountable, do it in a positive way. There's no need to get negative, and because that just builds a whole chemistry of negativity, and we don't want it in our house at all. So yeah, I would say those aspects, Kyle.
And, you mentioned Coach Hendricks moving on to the track and field team and everything.
Yes.
Any other changes to the coach staff? Any new additions? Any other departures this year?
By way of new additions, we have let's see. We have basically the same guys. Justin's back, heading the line. Somebody that we have that was a former player, Rodney Melton. I don't know if you remember that name.
I do remember that name quite
well. He was a safety for us. He played with Pop during that era of football under Coach Russo. He's just a absolute pleasure to have.
Class act.
Yeah, just a great kid. Somebody that the kids absolutely love. They've grown to love him in a great way because, again, you're talking about a Vineland kid. You're talking about a Vineland kid that was basically ousted, okay, if you will. Basically, kind of told by certain people, again, names unmentioned, that he wasn't going to amount to anything as far as on the football field, or who even knows about anything else with his personal life. But this is a kid who took all that negativity, flipped it on its head, and still kept killing people with kindness, man. I absolutely love this dude. Went on to play in California at a high level. And I'm very happy to say he came back home. He wants to give back to the community. He wants to coach. And I went ahead, I gave him that opportunity, man. I mean, an excellent DBs coach. Like I said, the kids have gravitated towards him. And again, he's a Vineland dude. So what better to have than Vineland blood right here, right with our kids, teaching them at a high level what it takes to be a defensive back.
With the experience.
100%. I mean, he's played multiple positions at a high level. Wherever he went, he was playing 100%, 150% motor. So knows the position, knows it well, teaches it in a way where our kids can grasp it. A great extension to Coach Smith, where he's already coached them up. He already knows what to expect from Coach Smith. Coach Smith knows what to expect from Coach Melton. Just a great relationship. Coach Shelton knows him very well. Again,
they played together,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, at one point they played together. So it's just, again, the chemistry is just great as far as coaches are concerned. Most of these guys played together for me and Coach Smith. So it's nice. It's unbelievable. Sometimes I look around, I'm like Timmy Jones, Donovan Bennett, Rodney Melton, Ryan Shelton, Justin.
What an era.
What are we the team is back. The team is back. We're back.
It's the team within the team.
Yeah, so it's really nice to go out on that practice field and just sometimes I'm telling you, I'll sit back and I'll like be on a sidebar with Coach Smith, me and him looking, and we're like, we coached all these little jokers, we coached them, man. We coached them. And now look at them. It's so being on the other side and looking, it just brings a lot of joy to us, man. There's intrinsic joy that other people have no idea. They're like, oh, they're just coaches. No, to you, they're just coaches. To us, they're family within family. Do you understand? It's like we coach these guys up. They went on to play at a high level somewhere, and they came back, and they want to give back to the kids. What more can you ask for, Kyle?
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is called Guzman's Gridiron.
Absolutely. They come back, man. They come back.
Speaking of the alumni, Tyreem Powell. We said.
I'm going to clap it up. I'm going to clap it up because that guy, we said it, didn't we?
We said he's going to have those 3 letters across his chest.
Enough said. I mean, Tyreem, special dude. I've said it before. Right out of the land, right out of here from Vineland. And it's just neat. Again, I coached his younger brothers too. What can you say, man? An athlete, a stand-up person, period. A class act through and through. Somebody that's going to give back to his community. There, I can guarantee you have Jamil, class act. Mm-hmm. He has his day, right, where he gives back to the community. We're always supporting Jamil Demby. Pop, he gets to the league. We support Pop and his day for the kids of Vineland, okay, in his camp. And now I can guarantee you Tyreem will have his day and his camp, and we will be there to support Tyreem 150% as well. Just 3 guys under our watch that are absolute stand-up dudes. Just great people to have around you. Their energy speaks for itself. And they got the opportunity to go ahead and showcase their talents and ultimately put Vineland on their back and showcase it to the world. I mean, you can't ask for better guys, man. You just can't.
Tyreem gets signed as an undrafted free agent. I was talking we had Jamil on Underground Sports Philadelphia this summer,
right,
leading into his camp, and we were talking about it and said, this feels like the most South Jersey-based players drafted or signed as undrafted free agents in a singular NFL draft class, like ever. Top to bottom, round over round over round, there was somebody from South Jersey getting drafted, getting signed, multiple guys. Like, the Jacksonville Jaguars backfield is set up to be a 2-man machine of 2 guys from South Jersey.
You got to
pretty cool.
Isn't that neat? We have studs down here, man. I can care less where these kids are coming from, whether they're coming right here from Vineland, neighboring town next door in Millville, Glassboro, wherever down here. There's a big load of guys that can play at that next level. And I'm talking about the 3-letter level, that NFL. It's not just North Jersey doing it, man. And, again, kudos to Jersey as a whole. But we all know North Jersey gets its comeuppance all the time. They always get their kudos. And, again, there's great athletes up there. I have no doubt about it. But we have our fair share down here too, man. And it's incredible the amount within the little bit of time frame. Again, 10 to 14 years isn't that much of a time. There's schools across the nation that have 0 guys that have gone to the league. 0. We've had the opportunity within the last 14 years to have 3. That's pretty, I don't know. That's numbers-wise, that's pretty. There's only 1,600 guys in the NFL. So you mean to tell me in the last 10 to 14 years we have 3 guys? That's a big percentage that this city here of Vineland has gotten to that level. Of course, with their hard work, their determination, our coaching staff going ahead and having the connections to get them to where they need to be, and then them just doing what they do, being team leaders, being leaders, period, doing all the right things in the classroom, off the field, and on the field, ultimately vying for a position in the NFL. It's a dream come true, man. It's a dream come true, and I'm excited for all of them guys. They've paved such a beautiful path for our young guys the resources are all there, Kyle. Like, I don't understand. Again, I've said it many times on this show, and I'll say it again. I'm not the type to go out and recruit kids. I'm not. I'm not going to be the guy. And there's plenty of guys out there, head coaches, want to go to the houses of people and take pictures with the kids. And ultimately, they want to stable horses so they can use them up. Once they're done with them, you don't hear the proof's in the pudding. The guys that I have that maybe don't get that much playing time, when they become seniors, I still help them. They're still going to get somewhere, wherever they need to go. They want to play football? Let's go ahead. Let's get to work getting that done for you. Coach, I don't want to play football. I want to be an electrician. I got people. We'll put you through to the right people. You could go ahead and get your book and start your hours. It's not a problem. So it doesn't matter where you're going to go. Get in where you fit in. We'll find the possibility for you. You've got to ultimately put forth your effort, but we're going to find somewhere for you. We don't give up on the guys that, oh, well, this ain't a D1 guy, so we're sorry, you're on your own. Go with your mom and dad. Let him or her guide you in the process. No, we're going to guide you right here in Vineland. We got a great coaching staff that's going to guide you. We got a great guidance department that's going to guide you. We're going to feed you all the right elements to ultimately get you where you want to be. Whether you started for me or whether you sat the bench most of the time, it doesn't matter. We're going to get you to where you want to be. But you've got to let us know where do you want to go? That's all we need to know. That's the difference here at Vineland. Again, we have all the resources to get you Division III, Division II, Division I, Division I AA, JUCO. However you need to get where you're going, it's right here in house. Oh, and by the way, if you're that talented where you have the talent to ultimately possibly go to a big D1 and possibly go to the NFL, we have direct pipelines to different teams in the NFL. Not to mention we have an NFL coach on squad that still has connections to the NFL. A bunch of different coaches that he knows. I just don't – that's why I don't get the whole recruitment thing. You know, when I was younger, I was recruited to go to all these, privates and all this parochial schools. I stayed in Hamilton. I played under Coach Pete. I didn't want to go to the St. Joe's, the Holy Spirits, the St. Augustine's. I wanted to play with my buddies. I wanted to win championships with my friends. You see, I'm a true hometown guy. You see? Where's that today? Now it's all this multimedia stuff. I want to take pictures with this and that. If you want to be glamorized, maybe this ain't the place for you. Be honest with you. I'm very honest, Kyle. You know this. You want to come and play with your friends and come and build something like an Isiah Pacheco, like a Jamil Demby, right? Like a Tyreem Powell. These guys built something. They helped build something special here in Vineland because they're special people. You see? So it takes a special person to have that mindset where it's not like, Burger King. I want it, my way now. No, they have patience. They have fortitude. And ultimately, they want to win the right way with their friends from their hometown, not hop on a bus, go out of town, go play with these people they don't know because they're such an all-star team. Then you got to come back home and face the music. Why are you over there? Why aren't you playing with us? I thought we were your friends. What's going on? But again, to each his own. I'm not that guy. I'm not going to be taking pictures over here, this person's house, that person. No, you want to come to Vineland because you want to play here and you want to set a precedent here. And you want to ultimately build something special here in your hometown.
100%. I think we ended on that, Coach.
Hey.
Perfect ending there.
The cherry got dropped.
Boom. And, of course, do want to congratulate, since we last recorded, both Isiah Pacheco and Jamil Demby inducted into the Vineland High School Athletics Hall of Fame, along with Tess Fisher
as well.
So congratulations to the three of them. And welcome back to Guzman's Gridiron, everyone. Make sure you guys are following Underground Sports Philadelphia and Vineland High School Football on social media. It's linked in the description of both audio and video versions of the show. Subscribe to the podcast feed on Apple and Spotify. This show airs on both the Underground Sports Philadelphia feed each week and on the Guzman's Gridiron feed. If you just want this show, there's a designated feed just for it, so don't worry about that. You can subscribe to both. And if you're an Apple Podcast user, you can go to the Channels tab, and you can find all of our shows here on Underground Sports Philadelphia as well. And if you want to watch the show, it premieres typically every Wednesday night prior to each game, so you don't want to miss out. It's youtube.com/@undergroundsportsphiladelphia. You can watch the premiere. It's like it's live TV. We're in the comments section all the time. Leave those positive comments and positive comments only. Drop a like on the video. Click the bell icon as well on YouTube so you never miss a video from us. And, Coach, best of luck against Delsea this week. It's going to be a ton of fun. Broadcast on the Vineland Public Schools YouTube channel. Yours truly on the call. Thursday night, 6 p.m.?
6 p.m. kickoff.
So there it is, 6 p.m. Thursday, August 28th at Gittone Stadium. Be there or be square. And this has been Guzman's Gridiron. We'll see you next week. But until then, we'll see you next week.